There are moments in life when something changes and nothing replaces it. Not immediately, not cleanly, sometimes not at all. Life doesn't pause when this happens. It doesn't reorganize itself around what was lost. It keeps moving forward, asking ordinary things of you, even when something inside hasn't caught up yet. This season begins there, not at healing and not at resolution, but at the quiet reality of continuing to live while something important has changed. This isn't about grief as a topic, and it isn't about loss as an identity. It's about what it's like to keep going when life hasn't stopped, but something inside you has shifted. Loss doesn't always arrive in obvious ways. Sometimes it comes through death, sometimes through the end of a relationship, sometimes through distance, silence, or a future that quietly dissolves without explanation. What's lost might be a person, a role, a sense of direction, or a version of life you assumed would continue. Often, there's no ceremony for this kind of change. No clear moment where everything breaks. Life just feels different afterward, and it's hard to explain exactly why. In the beginning, there can be disbelief. The world looks the same. The routines still exist. People continue talking about ordinary things, and yet something feels slightly misaligned, as if life is happening a few inches to the side of where you are. You may notice that time behaves differently. Some days pass too quickly. Others feel heavy and slow. Moments that should feel familiar feel distant. Moments that should feel distant arrive unexpectedly close. None of this means something is wrong. It means something real has happened. Grief doesn't always look the way we expect it to. It isn't always crying or sadness. Sometimes it shows up as dullness. Sometimes as distraction. Sometimes as a quiet sense of effort behind everything you do. You may still function. You may still show up. But something underneath is being carried. This season isn't here to define that experience or to give it shape. It doesn't ask you to understand what you're feeling or to process it into something useful. It simply stays close to what it's like to live while something is missing. There's often pressure to work through loss, to process it, to come out the other side stronger or wiser or more complete. But many people aren't trying to get through anything. They're just trying to live while something important is no longer present in the way it once was. Living like this takes energy. Not emotional energy in an obvious way, but structural energy. The energy it takes to keep moving through ordinary days while carrying something that doesn't have a place to be set down. You might notice that simple things take more effort now. Decisions feel heavier. Focus drifts more easily. Motivation comes and goes without explanation. This isn't a failure of discipline or resilience. It's a natural response to internal change. This season doesn't ask you to fix that. It doesn't ask you to return to who you were before. It acknowledges that life has changed and that you are adjusting in real time, often without language for what's happening. Some days, you may feel almost normal. You might laugh. You might focus. You might move through your day with ease. And then something reminds you. A quiet moment. A memory. A pause you didn't expect. That doesn't mean you're going backward. It means life and loss are coexisting. There's often guilt that appears alongside these moments. Guilt for feeling okay. Guilt for enjoying something. Guilt for forgetting, even briefly. But living doesn't erase what mattered. And moments of ease don't cancel what was lost. This season doesn't ask you to hold on to pain in order to honor what mattered. It also doesn't ask you to let go. It recognizes that life continues, not as a replacement, but as a parallel. You may also notice that your relationship to people changes. Some know how to stay present with you. Others don't. Some return to normal quickly. Others linger quietly. None of this is a judgment. It's simply how people respond to change they don't know how to enter. You don't need to explain yourself. You don't need to summarize what you're carrying. Silence is allowed. Simplicity is allowed. You're permitted to live without translating your experience into something understandable. This season isn't about insight. It isn't about awareness as a tool. It's about staying close to experience without trying to improve it. About noticing how life continues, even when something inside feels unresolved. You may find that rest feels different now. That stillness brings awareness you didn't ask for. That distraction feels necessary sometimes. None of that is a problem to solve. It's information about where you are. This season doesn't encourage you to sit with discomfort longer than you can. It doesn't suggest practices or techniques. It respects the intelligence of your own pacing. There will be episodes that stay close to loss. There will be episodes that widen into daily life, work, relationships, responsibility, and eventually, moments of lightness returning. None of those shifts means something has been left behind. They reflect how life actually unfolds. Grief may open this season, but it does not define it. Life widens it. You don't need to be ready for this season. You don't need to feel open. You don't need to listen closely or reflect deeply. You can let these words accompany you while you move through your day, or you can turn them off when they're no longer useful. If you're listening to this while carrying something quietly, you're not doing it wrong. You're not behind. You're responding honestly to a life that changed without asking. This space isn't here to make sense of that change. It's here to keep you company while life continues. If this episode feels like something you can return to, you're welcome to stay. Liking the video helps it reach others who may be living through similar changes without words for them. And if you want to keep a steady space like this available as the season unfolds, you can subscribe, not for answers, but for continuity. If someone you care about is living through loss or change and doesn't know how to talk about it, you're welcome to share this with them, only if it feels right. Life doesn't wait until everything is resolved. It continues, one ordinary moment at a time. And this season stays with that reality, without asking it to become anything else.